Hello. How's that work? That's not the view I wanted. Why has it gone to 2 pages? You know when you spend ages testing something out and then you go live and it immediately doesn't work? Literally just spent ages trying to get this to fit perfectly on the scene and now it doesn't work. Hello G-Saurus, how's it going? Retro, how you doing? I don't know anything about this game. So I thought we'd quickly have a little rush through of the manual, but it did make me laugh, Horitron, that you've said not to try it, because that is basically all I've ever heard about this game is that it's not very good. But I'm quite excited about it, because I like Ease, which also has its roots on like the computer thingies, and I also like Zack, the Art of Visual Stage, which I played on the Super Nintendo, and this seems very similar. I have played about... I don't know. Well, no, I don't think I played it. I think I watched somebody else play the first 30 minutes or so, and it, you know, I could see it had issues, but it also looked somewhat interesting at the same time. So I thought we'd give it a go. But I'm going to very quickly glaze over this introduction just to get a bit of the lore. But it says something about the legend of the hero of light. I think a long time ago and far, far away, in the country of Lakely Land. Please, if you know the story, do fill me in. I do have the English manual too, I thought we'd peek at, but I know that they're notoriously often wrong, these older translations. Let me just... But yeah, so in the kingdom of Lakely Land, the power of darkness had been growing, and with the influence of that power, gave birth to an evil god. And the evil god's evil power was very violent and strong and caused great suffering to the people. And they knew lots and lots of fear, yada yada yada. The country was in total chaos. And at that time, from the heavens, the gods sent down, I think, the legendary sword, the Moonblade, and it sealed away the evil god. And then, in order to make sure that the evil god would not be ever return or resurrected again, they had to keep a balance between the light and the dark. One who governs over the light and one who governs over the darkness was sent down to the earth, I think. Hello, Chronogear. How's it going? And one evening in Lakeland, the sorcerer Matthias heard the voice of God, and he was guided by the force of God to something that I can't read. It's like the illusionary mountains or something, a hill, and he headed that way, and that's where he saw two babies enveloped in light. One of them, I want to know where he's gone first though before we carry on. Where did he go? But how is everybody? Just excuse me while I'm reading the lore. I like to know what's going on in the game, especially these old ones, because sometimes they don't tell you otherwise, do they? Move that. It's a made-up word, I think this is. But I think it's just like an illusionary mountain peak. Mountain, yeah. We'll go with that. One of them was going to be the hero of light, called Nacelle, and the other would be the prince of darkness, called Soa, is what God said. Okay. And so I think Matthias raised them both and gave them different orders that they would have to do and raise them up in order to keep the balance between light and dark. It's a bit of a weird story. Have you played this one before then, Horitron? Do you know the story of this? But then while Mateus was holding up the two children, suddenly a dark shadow cut across before his eyes. "Who are you?" he said. "My name is Zera. I will be taking that child in order to resurrect the evil god." Stop. But then, Zera took Soa, which is the baby of the darkness, I guess, and ran away, it seems. I met a friend of mine through this game, kind of. Oh, do you know this one? I've never played this one. I'm wondering how much the story is similar for those who know the English one. Zera is going to use the power of Soa, the Prince of Darkness. But just what evil plans does he have in mind? At that time, even Mateus had no idea, or Matthias, whatever you want to call him, I guess. From then on, 14 years later, he basically raised Narcel in the village of Atland. I guess that's us. That's a nice picture. And every day Narcel was training in the art of the sword and magic, but one day Narcel Mateus called Narcel by his side, and then I think this is because I did have a peek at where the game begins. I think this is where the game begins, so maybe we'll just jump into the game in a second. Yeah, so he says, "Narcel, recently the water that flows in Lakeland has been basically becoming evil influence or something, and because of that the people are getting sick and dying. I have a very bad feeling about this, this seems like a bad omen. You, as the hero of light, should need to go and find out what is causing all of this misfortune. And so Narcel received the kind of orders from Mateus and headed on his journey towards Lakely Land. But just what lies ahead of him, blah 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 blah, let's find out. And what is his destiny? Ta-da! There we go. That's Lakely Land then. So, that's a gorgeous picture about the world of Lagoon. And these are the characters that were mentioned then, aren't they? So that's us, Narcel. That's Mateus. Is my cursor on the screen? I can't remember. Here it is. There's Mateus then. Don't know who you are. Battler. Princess Felicia. Oh. And she is... Oh, wait. She's not princess. Sorry, she's the queen. I always mix those up, or is it the other way around? For Lakeland. Who's that shady guy in the background? Hey Al, how's it going? What is the Hero Light? Is it a proper job title? What does the position pay? Probably not much, unfortunately. So that's Soa, and it did say something, if I recalled, about Soa. I think it was up there. Yeah, has two different coloured eyes. A bit like David Bowie. Zera. Oh, Zera's the person that kidnapped Soa? He doesn't actually look that evil, does he? Maybe you shouldn't judge. Alright, let me zoom this out. I can't even with all this. So what buttons have we got? Use item is the L key, X and Y. Earlier I had it on 2 pages. I don't know why it's not working. I want 2 pages at once. Can't change it. It would be page display. That would be it, wouldn't it? 2-page view. Ta-da! Oh, that's a horrible 2-page view. That didn't help at all. Whatever. We'll go to single page. So X and Y are talking, opening boxes. That's quite cursed. R key is use magic. So what does B and A do? B is, oh, swing your sword. A is, there's jumping in this game. There's jumping in this game. I did not know there was jumping in this game. That sounds bad. Select button, status can. I think we can figure the rest out. Movement, status window, blah, 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 blah. Let's check this. MP. Strength. Influences your attack. Defense does what it says on the tin. Don't think there's much else to know. We can probably, you know, look back as we get stuck. Especially things like item descriptions. I probably should have read this before I went live, but it was getting so late today. I thought if I don't go live, I'm not even going to start. So, moving, combat, press the B button. Yeah. Weapon, defense. I'll probably have to check this out later. Rings. Oh, there's a defense ring and a power ring. Wait, what's the difference? Oh, this will make all damage 0 except for bosses. Must be late game. Weapon, defense, magic, enemy. We'll look at that later. Just out of curiosity though, I do want to quickly glance at the English manual to see if there's much of a difference. Gotta have that platform in game. The attack system in this game isn't great. Yeah, I remember it was a very short reach, is all I recall. Why would you change such a gorgeous box art to that? Just a fucking castle, you know? Long ago, the peaceful land of Lakeland fell under the influence of an evil spirit. Oh yes, we can't say. They've said gods, though, bringing despair to all. With compassion, the gods descended and vanquished the evil spirit with the sacred Moonblade sword in hopes of restoring peace to Lakeland. The gods brought 2 babies to the light. One represents the force of light, another who represents the force of darkness. A sage named Matthias was charged with responsibility of raising the 2 children as equals in hope that their different but equivalent strengths would guarantee the balance of force of light and darkness. But the moment Matthias reached out to grasp the 2 children, the evil Zera appeared and took the child of darkness, hoping to raise the child to overcome the forces of light. Thus, while Nessia, I don't like that name, Nacelle, whatever it was, champion of light, was raised by the... Champion's probably a better word than hero. Raised by the wife Matthias, the other child grew up under the questionable tutelage of Zera. 14 years have passed. Nazir, raised near the village of Atland, has become a bright youth and accomplished swordsman. Matthias has taught him well. One day an evil spirit possessed the water on which the people of Lakeland depend. There's some terrible spacing on this thing, isn't there? Rending sickness and disease, demons infest this once peaceful land. Just for this day I've trained you, yada yada yada. Yeah, I guess we don't need to look at much else. Bit ugly, isn't it, this? Oh, is that a guide? There's the main characters. Thor! Oh. Okay. Let's jump in now. Let me just hop back to the other scenes. And there we go, now I've lost my controller. Should be away. And let me know if the sound is okay. I'll just sort my laptop out a moment. It's nearly as prevalent at the time. No, but it was just, like, do better. Like, it's just boring. That's horrible. That is not very nice pixel art. So I guess that's Soa and that's us. Whoops. I like the music though, that's what drew me to this game. Honestly, the music, it reminds me a lot of Ease and things like that. Lagoon. And when I watched someone else play it, I actually thought it looked like my cup of tea, because like I said, if anybody's played Zack, the Art of Visual Stage on the Snes, that's kind of janky, but I enjoyed it. Is this just looping? I'm confused. So who's that in the background? Yeah, well that's well, we've seen this. I turned my TV down. I don't think I did. It'll be echoing. No, I didn't. But also, I feel like most people played this on the Super Nintendo, right? I wonder how many played it on whatever the computer was that it was on, the Sharp, blah 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 blah. Because it's probably... I wonder if it's just not a great port as well, you know. Let's go. Ooh, look at the fur, the Sharp X. I think it was on that one. It's on one of those. I think it was that. It could have been the PCI at 98, but I think it was the Sharp that this was on. Probably on both of them, to be honest. Narcel. I've raised you until now to be the hero of light. I like how his mouth moves. I don't like his furry coat though. But the time has come for you to fulfill that destiny. Pixel density on his fur is worse than his head. Yeah, it's pretty bad, that, isn't it? I guess it looks better on a CRT, but does it really? I don't know. So the water of Lakeland's becoming dirty with evil. What's that? There's no kanji on this guy. Oh, on this game. It's going to drive me crazy. It's easier to look up words, but it's going to do my head in. Oh, he thinks that this is like a bit of a heralding, a harbinger of something bad to come. And monsters have been appearing throughout the region. It must be the influence of the water. And he wants us to find out what the cause of it is. And restore the water back to this country's water, back to its sort of pure state that it was before. So first, you should head towards the town of Atland that you know very well. Okay, and here we are at Atland. I'm already excited. I just think it looks... Isn't it cute? I think it's so cute. It's kind of crap, but I kind of like it. I love the music though. But yeah, I just thought I'd do a little short stream today. I actually ended up having my booster suddenly. I went to book it at the clinic, and so my arm's a bit achy. That's the point of this story. But I went to book it, and then they were just like, "Oh, we've had a cancellation. You can have it right now." I was like, "What? Right now?" So I did. Wait a sec. I've seen this game. I watched the speedrunner who plays this game. It's a horrible game, but everybody says it's horrible. I don't know anybody that likes this game, but one crassy boss looks like a turd as well. Yeah, it looks like shite. Let's go in. Ooh! Nassau, are you going shopping today? I don't know, am I? I'm actually a bit cold. I might have to give in and put the heating on at some point. My hands on the controller are cold. It's suddenly gone very cold lately. Oh, doors don't open. Noted. I don't even know what I can and can't interact with. I think it was X and Y, wasn't it? A and B don't do anything. Brutally flat looking. Belongs in old hardware. Well, it was, wasn't it? It was on the Sharp. It's just a lazy console port, I guess. 1991, though. So I guess, I don't know. Late 91. Oh, I'm having a coffee. The water from the well has become so dirty that we can't drink it. Just what? are we going to do? Nobody has any mouths, it's a bit cursed. Sharp had way better video capabilities this game. Choran Sir alone present. I haven't played that. I always thought the colours were not so good on that, if I'm thinking of the right platform. Lots of early 16-bit RPGs look like this. I actually love the presentation of Lagoon. How are you? Whoops. I'm trying to scratch my nose and I just smacked the microphone, sorry. How are you, Joshua? I've not played this one, so I'm very excited, and I know it's got a reputation for not being very good, but I'm kind of excited about it. To be brutally honest though, I do think the graphics are a little bit cursed, but sometimes there's a charm in that, isn't there? I love the music though. It sounds like Falcom to me, sort of like a Falcom game. This game is fun, you'll enjoy it. I think I will, because I like similar games to this. I like Ys and I like Zack, so it seems like it's completing the missing set. I really wish I could play the rest of Zack though. I've only played the Super Nintendo version. The length of that paid a little sort of, yeah. I have played about 40 minutes before, I think, just to potter around. So my boyfriend, or my husband, whatever, my partner, his job is digging up gold. Now he's gone with Gills to the gold cave, the cave of gold or whatever, to do his job. Zack's pretty good. I've only played the Snes version of Zack. Has anybody played that? And I was a bit pissed off because it ends quite abruptly. Oh wow. But yeah, it ends quite abruptly and there's no Zack 2. So it didn't conclude. It's a bit like Ys Book 1. But I enjoyed it. I might stream it. I haven't played it for years now, so I wouldn't mind revisiting that. I'm in the mood to just play sort of more obscure Super Nintendo stuff at the moment. I know I'm still going to do my Mega Drive, but I might put that on the back burner until the new year, because obviously I'll be not streaming soon while I'm at home. That one is on the PC. Yeah, I just don't have a good way to play PC Engine stuff. I need to sort of, other than perhaps on a laptop, but I can't stream and play on my laptop probably at the same time. Well, if it isn't Narcel, you want to see the guy here, who lives here? Who is that? Oh, it's the Elder's house. So you want to see the Elder, I guess she means? Sorry. He's gone out to the church, I think. I think he was gone to the church. But this does remind me of that. Who made this? Does anybody know? You get Windows port of Choran Show Online. Oh, really? I would like to give that a go at some point. I've always heard, I've always been recommended that one as one to play. Bow bow. But yeah, has this got any connection to Zack and Ys, or is it just cashing in on it? Because it just seemed very similar. Chemco. Oh yeah, Chemco. The name flew up at the start for Chemco, but I didn't know whether it was just the port. Lagoon is a standalone, so it's not even no connection at all. Like nobody made it. Original story Falcom, but I mean it's not the same like creators at all. It just seems to have a similar vibe. You'd expect it to be made by, who is it? Cabin that did that. I honestly just chucked it on tonight and I didn't really do any research or reading about it. I thought let's just put it on, go in, get into it. So recently the water's becoming dirty. Well, just as long as nothing bad happens, well I think it will. Doesn't look so terrible though. Oh wow, look at her hair. This is the bar, the tavern. That's some big hair. What's that? So the reason that Lakeland flourishes, I think, is because of the water that's flowing from Lagoon. Oh, this is why it's called Lagoon. Castle Lagoon. But now that water's dirty, and because of that, I can't sell any alcohol and stuff. Any good alcohol, anyway. Is that it? I'm also drawn to this game because it doesn't have sequels, because a lot of them, the PC games, they have sequels but they weren't all like on the Super Nintendo. So it's nice to be able to play a complete game. Oh, we've talked to him, he says you're doing your shopping. I have to see how I get on tonight though, because like I said, I did have my booster today, so my arm's aching a little bit. This is a weapon shop. Welcome. I like the mouth moves. It's a nice touch. Oh god, what is this interface? What am I looking at? Oh, that's 100, so I'm short 50. Okay. That's a short sword. Banded armor. Or an iron shield. Well, I don't know, and I don't want to accidentally do it. What am I even wearing? Nothing. So I guess I should... But if I know ease, and I do, it's usually best to get the sword first, so I might just hold on to my money. Kill things faster. Oh, the biggest house in this town is the Elder's house. Great. There's always that person, isn't there, that just tells you stuff. There's literally only about 3 doors that we can probably open. I'm already feeling a bit lost, though. I don't want to miss a door. What's this? That's the way out. Quite literally. But yeah, I quite enjoy playing games like this that I don't, because I feel like, well, I shouldn't say judgment until I've played it, but what I found with games like Zack, when I played that, I could see most people considering it as kind of janky and a bit of a mess, and it is and it isn't. I found some fun in it though. It feels like they do. They have a charm to them, and also especially not this one, because this one did get an English release. But when you're playing something like Zack, I don't believe it has an English fan translation. So I kind of do feel like I'm playing like a forbidden fruit or something like that. So it sort of interests me a little bit more. Although you can probably bumble through Zack without any language anyway. The other ones have, the PC Engine versions have English though, don't they? But I don't know. Did anybody fan translate the Snes version? Oh, if it isn't Narcel, recently my body's not been feeling good. Oh dear. It makes me want to play some of the other lesser known. I was saying this last stream. Oh. Kitosho. What's that? Is that a fortune teller? I know another word for that. It's not that one. Grammar. Person who prays. What? Oh, I've spelt it wrong. That's fine. But it's probably going to be the place. Oh. Prayer room? Yeah. Exorcism? Well, she looks like she's up to something. What do you want? If you don't have any business here, you should go back. Well, what are you? Interesting. The item store. I'm sorry, I'm still making preparations right now. Please come back later. I'm guessing that's the church, so we'll go in there last. I would argue that the church is the biggest place in the village, but I guess it's not technically a house. I keep pressing the wrong button. It seems like the village elder is worried about something. I wonder what he's worried about. Probably the fact that nobody can drink any of the dirty water. Just a hunch. And all his town people are dying. That was probably what he's worried about. Oh god, hit that face. Oh, if it isn't Narsel, yes, it's me. Long time no see. How's Mateus? Is he well? Mateus is a great sorcerer, whatever you want to call him. Sage, if you please. If you could use magic as well as him, you would be a really great warrior. Well, maybe I will. Have I talked to this boy? Yes. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. Oh, it's not very interesting though. He's just like all the kids in Shenmue. Hey, mister! Wanna wrestle? He actually said, hey, Narcel, do you want to play together? I swear this channel keeps changing. What the fuck is this house? Where's the church gone? I thought that was the middle. No, that's the exit. What would happen if I leave? Oh. Is there not an overworld music? I love this song. This is such a great piece. It's going on a playlist. I bet it sounds better on a different machine though. I bet it sounds better on the Sharp. Because it's the Sharp. The Sharp sounds a bit similar to a Mega Drive in some ways, doesn't it? I remember the Thunder Force 2 soundtrack. It's got that bounce. How do we save in this game actually? That's the point. I didn't see anybody. There's no inn. Maybe it would be the church though. Oh, it's you, Narcel. So, I've been talking to the priest here about it. The village's water has become incredibly, awfully dirty. It's very concerning. But this has never happened before. Just what is going on? Oh. Oh, it's terrible. What? What's all the hustle? And the rustle? Yeah. What's all the commotion? Scissor? What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. But it says, they came from the cave. I guess it's him panting out of breath, I don't know. They're injured. Please hurry, help them. Who's injured? That girl's boyfriend who digs the gold? Oh! You shouldn't laugh, but what the fuck is that face? I need a moment, but I'm screenshotting that. That's going somewhere. You know it. That is a beautiful, beautiful expression. Looks like a doll. It looks like someone's janky Discord emote, like mine or something. Okay. They came out from inside the cave and collapsed here. Who would do such a thing? I'm guessing it's monsters. this? Oh, I read that wrong. I thought it was somebody called Kiz, but it's because we're not using kanji. It's not even a name, it's a word. But no, he said, this wound, it doesn't look like it's been done by a blade. Oh, it looks like he's trying to say something. I'll talk to him last. I'm that bitch. They were digging gold in the cave. What's that word? And then the earth. Oh, because it's very unstable there. Children should keep away. Is this just his generic dialogue if I'd have walked here earlier? Yeah, I think so. I think they don't seem to notice that someone's dead on the floor almost. What's that, the music in this game? I'm enjoying it so far. Who did it, like, is it anybody we know? Although this bit sounds like, what is it? It sounds like, are you ready for this? Child looks like he's been smoking a lot of weed. Is it a dead guy? He's trying to speak, but I'm just not listening yet. But he's supposedly trying to speak. You can't enter here without permission from the village chief. Children should go home. Go home. Thinking about it, we're 14 years old and that is quite the cape. Anyway, we'll talk to this guy on the floor. Village scarecrow, right? They came from the cave. Monsters. I look at him and I'm reminded of Tubular Tabby from Monster. I haven't played that. Is that the cat? I only know the collaboration with Final Fantasy XIV. Gills. From inside, hurry. We have to help him. So Gills is still inside, that girl's boyfriend. Okay, is he dead now? Gills, in the cave. Oh. Just what's happened? Monsters are roaming around inside the cave and kills, whatever his name is, Gills, Giles, I don't know. You can leave this to me. I want you to go to report to the priest. Okay. We will. Oh, it's literally right outside the town, so I bet if we'd gone up there, they wouldn't have let us through, would they? I really like this town's music. This could just slot into like an Ys game so easily. I'm going to keep comparing this with Ys, unfortunately. I don't mean anything by it, but it's just the only reference I have for this type of genre. Although this one's a little bit more like a, well, dare I say it, a Zelda than an Ys, because you actually hit with your sword, don't you? Whereas Zack and Ys have the bump system. Where was the church? We're in the middle of town, wasn't it? So easily, right? Just like Zack. For some reason, the scrolling is struggling in the church. It's like an early Genesis action RPG mixed with Ys. Well, that sounds like my jam. Huh? Keys was in the cave where the monsters are? This is terrible. Well, let's gather everyone in the elder's house and talk there. Well, that's not actually what he said. Everybody's probably gathered right now in the Elder's house and talking. Oh, God. Please protect Gills. Fuck off. Oh, we've told him. I wonder, does anybody know the English version of this? Did this get censored by Nintendo of America? Like, did they remove the stained glass windows or whatever and try and pretend it's like a cake shop? How long have I studied Japanese? Formally 4 years, informally 12, 10, don't know. Don't remember for sure. Windows might be okay. Yeah, it's usually just crosses, isn't it, and any direct references. Right, do you speak Japanese? I hope Gills is okay. You'll definitely help him, right? So Gills was left behind in the cave with the monsters. Oh, I'm so worried. Oh no, my boyfriend is in the cave and been attacked by monsters. If he dies, I don't know what I'll do. I'll just keep walking around out here. Is that the village elder's house? I want to see what everybody else has got to say. Although I want to do some combat tonight, so I perhaps should pick up the speed. But anybody that watches me stream games knows how I like to take my sweet ass time. What's Grandma got to say? Oh, monsters came out of the cave. Yep. Perhaps it's not known for its writing. She's still mad. A bit on and off again for fun. Do you read hiragana? Because so far that's pretty much all you need for this one. Other than vocabulary, obviously, and grammar, but... What in the blue hell is this game? Why's it got to be blue? Travelling in Japan, then quickly realised I barely spoke a single word of Japanese since everyone spoke English. That is the trouble, especially in like places like Tokyo. If you live in the city, there's quite a lot of English, but it's like enough for tourism, but for actually just trying to get stuff done. Like case in point, today I went to go and get my booster. You can't do they won't be able to talk to you in English about that unless you go to a special place or something. You know, a bit of hiragana. Well, this game, well, you'll understand what I mean then. This, you know, there's hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Kanji is the most kind of complicated of them all. Hiragana and katakana are essentially like an alphabet. A lot of old retro games don't use kanji because they didn't have the memory to remember all the fonts and stuff. It sort of kanji started being used more during the Super Nintendo Mega Drive era. Very few Mega Drive games use kanji. Like in RPGs, anyway. Super Nintendo games more, though. I can't even remember now. Does Final Fantasy IV use kanji? I think 6 does. And I don't remember about 5. But this game does not. Makes it easy for me to read, but less easy for me to understand. Because there's no context sometimes. I have to... Case in point, earlier one of the chaps said about they used a word called wound, but they'd spelt it with katakana, so I thought it was somebody's name, because that implies a loan word usually, but it wasn't. Anyway, I thought they were talking about one of the characters. Oh, this little kid's like, let's go together and rescue Gills. I was in Fukuoka and everyone spoke English. I haven't been to Fukuoka, actually. How are you, Quiggy, by the way? What, you mean it's dangerous so I can't go? Boo. This game's actually, I have to say, this is quite an easy game to understand so far. I would almost like recommend this as a study game. It's pretty easy reading. It's nice for me because I'm kind of chill today. Just working, usual stuff. I need to go to bed soon because I work. I don't want to. It's everyone, but I went back home feeling like my studying wasn't really that necessary. I mean, if you're just going for travel, then not really. You can get by. You don't need to speak Japanese to just visit Japan and have a nice holiday, but living here, I'd go nuts. I've been in there. Also, how do I... Wait. How do I save? Is it quite literally this? Yes. How do I load the game, then? I only get one save slot, I assume. I guess I have to reset the entire game. Gaming to learn is a smart idea. You need a good foundation, but it's certainly what I spent a lot of my time doing. Alright, we'll go into the village house. Just finished Eternal Ring. It's like Kingsfield, but easy. I would like to check that out sometime, and I'm sure it would be pretty cheap. Excuse me. Oh, by the way, so are you familiar with this game in English? Because if you see anything that's like seems wildly different, I'd be curious to know. I might watch a playthrough on YouTube of somebody playing it in English just for fun as well. I find it interesting how they used to translate older games. I played it in English, but a million years ago. Had a good time with that. Oh, Eternal Ring. So, hey, I mean, I'm not perfect anyway. I make mistakes and I misunderstand stuff, but that's just how I play games by myself. So I thought, well, whatever, we'll just stream it instead. Otherwise, I'd have just played this on my own. Oh, Narcel, you came just at the right moment. Wait a minute. Well, wasn't that right, was it? That eyebrow. Has he only got one? Like, the other's like... I'm not convinced that the other's actually underneath there. Oh, Narcel. Well, as a matter of fact, everyone was just talking about gills. Oh, I thought someone was talking, but it was just Nightbot. How embarrassing. See the corner of my eye, the chat thing go up. So we've just been talking about gills, and it seems that the only one that can go in the cave is you. The warrior of light, the champion of light, whatever you want to call it. What's that? There's no kanji again. Outfit. Oh. So, yeah. Please use this to outfit yourself before you go. 300 gold. I bet we've got enough to buy everything now, haven't we? It's very light ease, isn't it? That format of giving you a little bit of a start. So, we'll open the entrance to the cave. Once you've finished your preparations, please head over there. Good luck. Take care. Do your best. Did they change dialogue? Oh, they do. No, they don't. She's still worried. Oh, if he dies, what will I do? I'm still curious about this shop. Like, why is this lady so, like, get out? What's a prayer shop for? Is there, like, going to be status elements or something? That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, yeah. Maybe because we're fitting well, she's like, piss off. Not wasting my time. I don't remember. I have no idea where the item shop was. It had a thing though, didn't it? Oh, maybe we should try the bar again and the item store. Maybe she's finished preparing now that I've got some money. Oh, that's not it. This is such a good track. This game needs a map, or I need a better sense of direction. I've lost the item store. It had a pot over the door. I thought it was on the the east side. That's the pissy lady, isn't it? Yeah. Oh. It was on the left side then. Gotta walk with a beat. That's the church. Oh my god. Where have the shops gone? Is this the... This is the bar. Monsters have appeared in the cave. What a horrible something, I think it is. Very unsettling. Oh, and that's it. Does anybody remember where the shops are? Church again. And this is just a village. Seriously? Where are the shops? I swear they had something over the door. There was like a sword one and a pot. That's the chief's house. Oh my god, I'm gonna literally just start from the left. I feel like the game's just ever so slightly zoomed too much for me to cope with the bearings of it. That's the bar. Where's the sword shop? Oh! It's not over the door. It's on the side. I actually want the item shop though. I don't know where that is, but I'm gonna remember where this is now. North, 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 north. Not east. Northwest of the church. Oh, there it is. Oh, she's still doing her bloody business preparations. Right, well, we'll buy everything you've got. Get out of the way. I might change my overlay a little bit. This was very battered together in about 40 minutes before I went live. I couldn't think of anything that spoke to me. I need to remember to back it up as well in case my laptop dies. Wait, did he put the price? No, that's the difference. I thought he put the prices up. Have I got enough to buy everything? I can't do my maths. 300 for... Yeah, I've got enough for everything. Let's get the sword. Could you, like, soft lock yourself if you just buy armor over and over again? Can you actually attack without a sword? I wonder if he would say he's sold out. Okay. Got any items? Ooh. Is it equipped or not? Oh, now it is. This is the same UI as these, pretty much. Oh. Oh! It's nice. It appears on his sprite. That's cool. So what's that done exactly? 10 attack, 5 defense, 5 more defense. It's not a shield, that's a nickel. Could be. Button. I like that it's appear. Can I use it? No. Is it because I'm in a town? Probably. Let's save. Saved. I don't know why they chose to make speak X and Y and confirm is A and B I think is attack. B is cancel. Right. I still can't attack. Have I got the sword equipped? Yeah. Must just be only in hostile areas then. Guess this is technically still the town. The scrolling on this game is a little bit messy, I think. You can it's depending on the yeah, it's juddering there. You see kind of okay there, but it seems to like judder a bit. Depends where you are. Be sure not to overdo it. Oh, good luck. See ya. Gold caves. Oh God. Should I save? Can you save inside? If I can save everywhere, there's a high risk of soft locking myself, right? I'm not sure how the save works. Does it save you right exactly where you... Oh, shite. It begins. That wasn't so bad. How do I use the oh my God. That is quite the jump. Just floats in the air for a little bit. I like it. The cape has a nice animation. You can't go diagonally though. Like you can only commit to forwards and backwards. You can't change direction mid-jump except to go backwards. Oh, I'm scared about this monkey. How do I have experience? Where is it? 1 out of 10. I think we should level up before we do anything. Oh! That sword. It's like flicking. Probably gonna die. Am I getting my health back? Oh. Does it come back from when I'm walking? Oh, 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 or only when I stand still? Oh, there we go. Just like these. Oh, I killed it. That was 2 experience. There's no shield button, is there? Oh God. So far though, I'm just like casting my mind. Oop! If I got this for Christmas as a kid, would I be mad? I don't think so. I think I would have been all over this. Especially because I wouldn't, like back then I probably wouldn't have liked ease as much. I liked the action RPGs where you can actually swing your sword. It does, and I think it does remind me too of sort of a Mega Drive RPG. It has got that vibe. Reminds me against like Wardener. Not that that's an RPG, but that's sort of like the graphical style and the music in this dungeon too. The forest, Wardener of the Forest or something, whatever it is. was an arcade game too. Oh my god, this is really hard work. Oh, if I could level up a bit, then I could probably play it a little bit more cocky, but I don't want to die. Oh my goodness. Does the sword get bigger? Like, is there an upgrade? Because this is kind of ridiculous. Definitely need to upgrade. Oh! I want to see my stats actually before we do. 20 strength, 15 defense, and we're about to level up. No fanfare? Hang on, what did I say? 20 and 15? That's quite a boost then. One-shotted. How much is the next one? I like to overgrind on these, it makes the jankiness less apparent. Oh no, not one-shotting, two-shotting now. Was this the entrance? We can't you... I want to bump. I really want to bump. Oh, you can jump and attack. That's really cool. I feel like I should just get another level first. Am I getting money as well? 32. Haha! Oh. I would... they keep turning. Okay. Just stay still. Stay in the lane. There we go. Oh god, I'm nearly dead. Oh gosh. Is this the right way to go? I don't want to go the right way first. I want to go the wrong way. Ow. Maybe I should save in case I die. I wish I had 2 slots though. It's kind of a worry. Like I'd like to roll another. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. What was that other way? This is very hard work. I do think this game would have benefited from just honestly being the bump system. For the way that they've programmed the enemies and stuff to move, it'd be much better off just running into them at an angle. It'd be a lot more satisfying. Oh, this has got multiple pathways as well. I mean, you sort of can, I guess, as long as they don't move. Can you believe this came out 2 years before Kingsfield? Ooh. I just want one more level. Oh, there's another screen. I wonder if this is just going to loop around though. I don't know whether to go in or not. Let's have a peek. What should I save first? I don't want to accidentally stumble on a boss. Any new enemies? I'm probably going to be out-leveled soon. It's hard to know when you've leveled up, isn't it? 27 strength now. 26 defense. That was quite a lot of defense though, wasn't it? How much? It's not too much for the next level either. You can kind of grind a bit at the start. Get you. Oh, the frame rate was going then, wasn't it? Right. I'm gonna go all the way back to wherever I was. What other sort of games has anybody played on the Super Nintendo that you would say, like, not exactly like this, but just sort of, in your opinion, you think might be a bit lesser known? Because I've either dabbled in most of the most famous ones or I've finished them. I think the best game that I found that I'd never heard of before, that I played a couple of years ago for the first time, was a game called Holy Umbrella. Oops. And I really recommend that, and it does have a fan translation, so you can play it in English. I really recommend that game. Anybody that knows me really will know that I've always talked about that game whenever someone's wanting a Snes recommendation, but I think it's a really good game that nobody really knows about or plays. Soul Blazer, yeah, I've done Soul Blazer. I like it. Obviously I like Illusion of Gaia. Or Illusion of Time. Ooh! Potion. What does a potion do? I'm assuming it heals me. I'm guessing the game doesn't inform you. It's probably down to the manual. Yeah, I'm not going to use it. I don't know how to use it actually. I'm guessing it's one of the buttons. Was it R1 or something? R1. R. I don't need it now though, do I? I've lost my bearings already. So what's that over there? No. The one that I haven't played yet is Terranigma. I was in two minds to start the Blazer trilogy. I was thinking about it today, I was thinking maybe even to play Terranigma. Although it's a bit of a fussy one to get running. But because I'm going home, I've like, what, got 3 or 4 weeks left before I go home for Christmas. So I thought it's not really worth starting the Soul Blazer trilogy, is it? I'm going to end up, like, not finishing it. Secret Evermore counts relatively unknown. It's not good, but I seldom hear about it. I mean, it could do. I mean, it doesn't have to be. I'm just in general recommendations, but the only reason I said that is because I probably know it, you know what I mean? And I do know Secret Evermore. I had it growing up. I quite like it. I don't understand the sort of hate that it gets more recently. I personally really like it. I don't think it's like as good as Secret of Mana, but I don't think it's like considerably worse. Because people could talk about, oh, it's got janky hitboxes and blah blah blah, because Secret of Mana had good hitboxes. I don't really see the difference. It has. I did revisit it. I streamed half of it last year, I didn't finish it because I lost my save. But I might try it again at some point. But I did notice that there was some sections of it that hadn't aged very well. It was very mazy, Secret of Evermore, and I didn't like that about it on the replay. Have I been here? I'm so lost now. Where's the entrance? I don't want to miss any treasure chests, but I'm totally lost. I'm just suck at mazes, and I really suck at mazes when I'm streaming. Is this a mazy game? Perhaps I should find maps. I know where the I haven't been here. 20 gold. Woo! Party. I hardly played the Snes growing up. Only had contact with it thanks to friends in my youth centre. Spent all the time playing the action games. Perhaps probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Oh, is it really that bad later on? Oh. It wasn't until my friend gave me his Snes and all of his games in high school that I finally got into him. See, I grew up with one. I was very much into it. It was my second after the Mega Drive. Oh my god. I nearly leveled up again. Let's just double check. I know that this was a dead end, wasn't it? I'm just going to run past everybody. Yeah. I think that's it for this vlog. I can probably just go into the next room, can't I? I like how you see his feet underneath the cave. I do think I should level up one more though, just in case. Did I kill it? Wait a minute. Wait. So I went up. What about the left? From here. Did I go this way? It's a dead end. Being said, I kind of wish I could afford all the games I played on the SNES growing up, like Gradius 3, Super Last, Hagane, Mega Man X. I haven't played Gradius 3 or Super Last or Hagane. You'd be surprised the sort of blind spots that I have in Super Nintendo and things like that, because it's the same with the Mega Drive. Like, I grew up playing it as a very little kid, but we didn't have a lot of money back then, and you only played what you had and what your friends had, and other than that, I didn't play it. I mean, once emulation or whatever became a thing, I did start to dabble in certain games, but it's always been that, and I've said this before, it's the reason why I did do the Mega Drive challenge thing. You get that, what's the word, like, paralysis of choice, because when you can suddenly play anything, it's like, well, what do I play then? Don't know. I have that problem with the Super Nintendo, but I'm slowly trying to get through some of the RPGs that I've always fancied. I mean, anything that's an RPG, I'll play and I'll enjoy it, because it's one of my favourite genres. Oh my god, I'm lost. I'm lost. This is going to be the dead end. This is where I got the treasure chest, isn't it? No, it's not. I'm lost. No, this is the entrance. That's where the jellies were. Is it? Oh, fucking hell. Oh my god. You know, when I play Phantasy Star 2, there'll be maps. There will be great big maps, because I cannot. It's because I'm talking, like, I could probably do a slightly better job of mazes, but then I just have to, like, be quiet. Oh, well, we need to level up anyway, so it's not a oh, I have leveled up. Not a total disaster. I just need to find that door. Again. The one that took me to the next. There it is. Get out of the fucking way. I'm just worried about missing something like an important shield. Maybe I should have a glance at a guide later. I don't really want to use guides that much, though. I don't really mean for, like, how to play, but just check that I don't miss something crucial. I only got to play those games thanks to friends who had those games. Gradius 3 is really good, but it's also the hardest. I've heard that. I've heard it's kind of broken in places because of the arcade. That's the shit on the stairs. Alright, let's save. What's your favourite Super Nintendo games? Anybody? I know you like, what's it called? Young James Bond, is it? Chrono Gear. Super James Bond. It's Mario RPG, Shadowrun is excellent. I was always like, I could play that again, and I might, but I might leave it another year. But I might revisit Shadowrun. I want to play Shadowrun Returns now that it's got a console release. I don't know whether I would bother to stream it though. Would it be that interesting? Wait. Have I been here? Yeah. I do need to play Super Mario RPG. Should I stream it? Oh no! Sorry, that was loud. A skeleton. It's a hard question. I mean, don't you have to choose one? Say whatever you want, but any soft spots? Any play those games? One of the ones that are short. Do you like the strategy and its console combat? What do you mean? For Shadowrun? Oh, is that what Shadowrun Returns is like? I haven't played XCOM. Yeah, I have to be honest, Shadowrun Returns doesn't really look like my cup of tea. I'm only interested in it because it's a supposed sequel to the Snes one, but it doesn't look like the Snes one to me. It doesn't look like what I want. Demon's Crown, that's good. I have played some of that. I'm more familiar with the Game Boy ones though, but I do like those. Gargoyle's Quest. I couldn't do the last boss very well. Pocky and Rocky. I was looking at that earlier. I haven't played those. There's loads of stuff I want to play. I honestly, because I know that people are like, oh yeah, you play Mega Drive, you're a Sega person. Yay, woo, Sega, blah blah blah. But it's like I do love the Super Nintendo, and I had such a good time the other night playing Assault Suit Falcom. I want to shake it up. How much do I get from these? 112. Oh my god. I can't even kill it. Why won't it die? Ooh, I got him. 3? It's not worth it. This cave could do the bit better music though, I have to say. It's getting a bit blah now, innit? I'm gonna go down first, but let's remember we've been to the left. There's a chest. Oh, wait, is that just a graphical glitch? Oh, there was a door. Oh, it's a glitch. Okay. 10 gold, yes. Rocky Rodent. Don't know that one. Kids whose households could afford one or the other. Frankly, I love both. I think it was just some of it. I think was just older kids compared to my age. I think in like elementary school, primary school, none of us cared. Like I had friends that only had one. I was fortunate to have two. They weren't mine. They were my brothers. But I had friends that only had one, and they weren't. I never heard anybody pissing about. I don't even know where I was going with that sentence when I started with the word pissing. Slagging off. The Super Nintendo, and like some of my friends would come up to mine and play my Super Nintendo, and they were just like, woo, these games are really fun. Everybody was kind of in just whatever. Games are games is how I always saw it back then. Sega's marketing was responsible for it, I think, in America. Genesis does. I only know that campaign because of YouTube. It wasn't anything I was aware of. Although, Techie Rob, who's been here, has confirmed that there was some slightly aggressive campaign in the UK too between them in magazines and stuff. Not the same as catchy slogans though. About those days, one of their whiteboard strategies was making fun of Nintendo. But again, I feel like some of that, it's probably more of an American cultural thing to do, especially back then in like probably the 90s. I bet Sega Japan weren't doing that. Well, maybe they were in private, but they wouldn't admit to it. It would be very... I still don't get it now, though. I don't care when people are on about, ooh, PlayStation versus Xbox. I don't play the Xbox, but I don't need to get on Twitter about it, you know what I mean? I don't play it. The only reason I don't play Xbox is because they never have any exclusives that I'm that bothered about, and everything comes out on PlayStation, and PlayStation's exclusives are generally better for me. The kind of games that I enjoy, PlayStation's exclusives are usually better than Xbox's. But these days more and more is coming out on Xbox, but I'm also, it's one of those things where you don't want to change habits that you've already got. Because I mean, back in the day it'd be things like Kingdom Hearts. I'd stick with PlayStation because I want to play my Kingdom Hearts, I want to play Final Fantasy, I want to play all that stuff. This has looped around, hasn't it? But can you play all the Kingdom Hearts on Xbox now? I don't even know. Nearly leveled up again though. Oh. Come on! Arse. So what's his day? So yeah, it's just silly. I think it's younger people though now, to be honest. I hope so. PCs and Snes. Oh, there's also that joke about PC versus console. PC is just not for me. I just can't get into it. It's just how I am. But if that's your jam, that's fine. But I generally find that PC doesn't always get all the games that I want to play. They don't always get PC ports. I like the online interface for the Xbox. Sony can never get some very functional PC. I think it's more what genres you play though, because I like a lot of... I've always liked JRPGs and not necessarily the big ones, so it's more likely probably going to come out on a Switch and a PlayStation, but that is changing a lot these days. They do seem to be getting a lot of Steam releases now. Actually, I would say Switch is getting more of the exclusives these days. I need to get a Switch. Right, I'm aware that this is looping around again. I'm just going to check to the left before I go up, because was there another path? Got him. I do want to level up. Was this where the empty chest was? Lost my bearings because I've gone around that loop so many times. Tiny knife is crap. PC can have some incredible games. I played Civilization, I like that. Oh shit! Oh, bugger. Oh no. Order! I'm so devastated right now. I've literally got my hands in front of my face. I am mortified. Oh my god. All that leveling. I ain't saved for ages, have I? What does continue do? Come on. Come on. Come on, Lagoon. I believe in you. God. There's all that. It's pretty bad, isn't it? Oh. Whatever. Right, we need to bring this command back. I need to bring this command back because it's a thing. I'm aware I could use a bit of sneaky magic, but I'm not going to. We're playing this game properly. There will be no cheating on Lagoon unless there's something later that becomes unbearably janky, but there will be no cheating on Lagoon. I died. Otherwise, it just sucks the fear out, you know what I mean? If I die, if I can just like erase that mistake, there's no fear. Oh, I've got my bearings now though. There was only one, I think it was only one screen. Oh no, it's two screens, I don't know. Whatever. Stupid skeleton. I should probably stand still and heal. Okay. I'm scared to save though because it does save you right on the spot, doesn't it? And you know that there's a jankiness that you can do with ease. Oh, Glyphix, how are you? Long time. I'm not bad. I'm gonna have to end soon, but I'm having a good time with this. I've just died though and lost like 15 minutes of progress, 10 minutes of progress. But how are you? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, with ease you can accidentally sort of like kill your game if you save in the wrong place. Because of how the enemies respawn. I think it's not every version of ease, but it's the PC Engine version for sure, I think. If you save on top of an enemy spawn point, you've got like no health, every time you load the game you'll just die. Because the enemy will reset to underneath you. And you'll just die every time you load the game. So that's why I usually like to keep more than one save file. It's not fun now. But that's my fear with Lagoon. Like, is that the same? So I want to save only in like places that look like they're going to be okay. I think the chances of you doing it on ease are very slim, but I've done it. And it was not funny. Luckily I had a save that was like a little bit further back. Doing well, it feels very ease-like. Never played this one. Me neither. I had dabbled a little bit in this cave, and I saw someone stream it, and they got past this cave. They must have whizzed through it though. But I've played almost all the Ease series, and then I've played Zack, the Artificial Stage. But I've never played this. A save in a room might put you in a particular spot in it. It's just that seemed to save me right in front of the entrance. I think it's also just a lesson is don't save when you've got no health. But the difference between this and Ease, when you're inside a dungeon on Ease, you don't get your health back. I think this game would be unbearable if that was true though. Ease, you only get your health back when you're outside. Could you imagine playing this without getting your health back? Okay. Is this the loopy room? Did I find a chest in here before I died? I don't think I've lost that much progress actually, because I think I only got close to one level. Yeah, this is the loopy bit. So I'm assuming we're going to get to a boss of some sort soon. Oh god. This is going to loop around again. And then I said, oh, I know that this is the wrong way, but I just want to check, and I'm going to do it again. And then this is where I died, wasn't it? I went down here, and then I died. That git, let's get him. You bastard. Yeah. And there's a chest! $40 gold. Was it worth it? I'm so salty about that death. I am going to respawn that skeleton and I'm going to kill him again. Because he's a git. You may die twice. Oh. He gets the last laugh this time. I'll take it out on you instead. Let's go. It's a lovely buzz. Why is there a door down there? Whoops. Oh, we're nearly leveled up. Almost. Oh, almost leveled up. Lagoon gets die twice. We're almost leveled up, and I know the perfect skeletons to level up on. Come on. Oh! Game knows. The game knows. See, you've respawned. Get out my way. Okay. This would probably be a good time to save, don't you think? We'll save around this corner. Whew, we may resume the conversation of Super Nintendo games. I'm feeling a little bit more focused now. Oops. But yeah, I might play Super Mario RPG at some point. I can't believe I've never finished that. Just something always happens and I never do it. It's part of the reason why I kind of want to stream some of them, because I have a really bad attention span. I do want to finish Suikoden at some point as well, though, but because of the long sort of break, I didn't want to like get back into streaming on Suikoden because it's a bit of a draining game sometimes. A lot of reading. I wanted to play something a bit more actiony, so that's why I went with whatever it was I did, the Mega CD stuff. I'm not even hitting this skeleton. I don't get the hit. I guess it's only the left side. Got a lot of health as well. But yeah, there's lots of weird Super Nintendo RPGs. There's like Emerald Dragon, which I think is a port of a PC Engine RPG. There's something about the wind. I've forgotten the title now. That recently just got an English fan translation, I believe. This would be a good save spot, which I've always fancied playing. Then there's also, has anybody ever played the Hercules series? There's a couple of them. There's 2 on the Super Nintendo thing. Like The Legend of Hercules 3 and 4. There's a couple on the Glory of Hercules, I think it's called. Oh! I'd like to give those a go, but I don't know that I need to play 1 and 2 or whatever. Yeah. The clouds are nice, but it kind of does need a bit of a... Oh, I suppose there is a parallax, but yeah, it's a certain flatness to it, doesn't it? Oh! I thought he was in the cave. He's clearly not. Narcel! Is that you, Narcel? What? I wasn't... Oh. So he's like, Narcel? Is that you, Narcel? I'm not seeing like an illusion. Is it really you? So it seems that the monsters are weak to light, so I ran all the way outside here, but on the way I injured myself. If you have a potion, I'm sure I'd be able to heal my wound. Do you have one? I mean, we do. I'm a good person. I'm that person. We will. Here you are. Thank you. Thanks for giving me this potion. My leg hurts so much I can't even walk a step. Get your own potion, you've reloaded. Exactly. What if I drank it? What if I said no? Would he just die? Wait, what? He said the same thing. Wait, did I see... Wait. Huh? Oh, he didn't give it him. He basically said... Please, I'm begging you. Not thank you. I tried to localize that, but it backfired. Yeah, he needs a potion, so I'm not giving it to him. I have one, though. Okay, so it's because I was pressing not confirm. Which is not the same button as to talk. It's very weird. Thank you. Ugh, it's bitter. Oh, shut up. You can't be picky. It's been sitting in a chest for God knows how long. I have to wonder who put those chests there. You have to wonder. Oh, I feel like my pain is going down, easing. But I can't go back to the village by myself. Please take me with you. Don't leave me here. I want to hurry back to the village. Are we going? Have I got to escort him? Is this like why nobody likes this game? Because it's the action RPG escort mission game. Oh god. You saved his life and he complains about exactly. Like, it's a potion to heal your aching leg. It's not supposed to taste like strawberries. There's no door! Oh, no, he's just drunk. It's this way, idiot. Have I really got to wait for him? Do we know? I can't be bothered with this. Wait, maybe I read it wrong. I'm trying to hope I read it wrong. No, he's literally tracking me, isn't he? God damn it. I was hoping I read it wrong. Maybe he said he can't make it home by himself. Right, well, let's save before he gets killed, because I don't trust my sense of direction. Have we really got to go through this whole dungeon with him? No. No! Will he follow me? Do I have to wait for him to be really close? Okay, there he is. Keep back, Gills. Leave the skeletons to me. I'm wondering if the skeleton will go for him. Maybe not, though. Oh! Can we talk to him? Yeah, boing. I do not remember the way back, though, I have to say. Somewhere to the northwest, I think. Walk faster. Oh, I suppose he's hurt his foot, hasn't he? I think it was up. Oh gosh. You're killing the frame rate, Gills. Oh, bugger. We have the same face. His got slightly darker skin. This is not the right way, is it? Don't touch kills! But yeah, Super Nintendo RPGs that I played and finished. I played Illusion of Gaia. I own that one. Secret Evermore. Earthbound, somebody mentioned in Discord earlier. I have actually done Earthbound. And I've done Mother Beginnings, whatever it is. Mother 1. I've done Mother 2. Haven't done Mother 3. I know I should. I started it but I didn't finish it. Angel Interceptor, what you doing here? Thank you for the raid. I'm not going to be on too much longer myself, but I appreciate it all the same. What were you doing? Hello everybody with all those cursed Mr. Blobbies. This must be your kind of game, Angel. Have you played Lagoon? I feel like you might have. Thank you for the follow, Stubbsy. We're playing Lagoon on the Super Nintendo and I've never played it before and I'm currently lost. You have played this one. I thought you might. Have you finished it? I'm quite enjoying it though, I have to say. I don't like this bit. It suddenly took a big fall from grace. Oh! Cursed Mr. Blobby is kind of redundant. Yeah, pretty much. Not 100% I have. It's like a weird ease, but with a very short sword. That's the skeleton that killed me before. I've got to escort this chump out of here, and I can't remember where the exit is. I'm currently lost. I thought it was the northwest, but I guess it isn't. And I kind of want to hurry up and get out because I kind of need to go to bed because of work tomorrow. We're just talking about Super Nintendo games because I'm trying to think of ones that I should play that are less famous than usual, or maybe didn't have an English release. Let's see. Oops. Just glad to see you playing Snes. I'm just in a Snes mood right now. I'm trying to throw this overlay together very, very quickly. Wait, this looks promising. There it is. Okay, okay. And I'm just in the mood for some sort of Snes role-playing games now. So I thought we'd start with Lagoon. Actually, this was not even on my radar to play when I was thinking of games. I was thinking about Star Ocean or Illusion of Gaia or Soul Blazer or whatever, Donkey Kong Country, I don't know. And then I was just going through the list and this one whizzed past the screen and I suddenly thought, huh, Lagoon. I've always wanted to play Lagoon. I've seen somebody else play the first hour of Lagoon and it kind of looked fun, and I just thought, well, you know what, let's just throw it on tonight, give it a go. I'm not going to overthink it, I'm just going to jump in and see what happens. And here we are. Luthia 2, Front Mission. Front Mission, I want to play the PlayStation version of Front Mission. I don't own it yet though, but I want to play the PlayStation version of that. I'm also not sure I would stream Front Mission, because it's probably going to be very hard to read. So I'll probably play it very slowly. Tales of Fantasia, yes, that is one that I would like to play. I have the PSP version though, the full voice edition. Rubber Trek, yes, I want to play that too. These are the good games, these are the ones that are on my lists of to-dos. I played about half of Rubber Trek probably when I was about 15 or 16 or something, like in the very early days of like SNEStic or whatever it was. I played Robotech. I never finished it though. I really liked it. I do remember that much. It's called Slapstick in Japan, I think. Lufia 2 is also one I want to do, but I will do Lufia 1 first. But I was playing Lufia 1. I think I might keep Lufia 1 to myself though, because I was watching a YouTuber play it while I was playing it and I was quite enjoying it. Don't know though, I'll see how I feel. It was a fun game. I played about 7 or 8 hours of it. Lufia was the last game. Before I started doing Twitch and I changed jobs, Lufia was pretty much the last game I was playing. And then Twitch sort of just stopped me playing everything that I was playing on my own. Not played that version. I think I played it when it was first translated around 2003. That would be the place. Oh no, you'd have played the Super Nintendo version 2003, but then they did the PlayStation version. Oh no. They did the PlayStation version in English, but I heard that had a kind of wonky translation. It was a little bit saucy for no reason. I know that Nervous Harpist likes that one. I've played only Snes for me. I'd like to play the Snes version because the PlayStation and PSP version's quite different sprites and stuff. But I wouldn't mind playing both. Oh, have we lost him? There is that. But I bought the PSP version. It was when I first came to Japan to study. Back in like 2008, 2009, I bought the PSP version. And I remember trying to fumble my way through it. It was very hard for me back then. Where is the exit? I have no idea. It goes down here. I have since played most of Tales of Phantasia. I do really like it, but it's one of those games that I never finish for some reason. EVO the Search for Vision. That is another one that I want to do. I played that's very similar with Slapstick. What you call it, Robotrack. I played a lot of EVO around the same time as when I played Robotrack, but I didn't finish it. Liked it though. It's very expensive, that one now in Japan. I heard that gets really hard later on though. Oh, there's Brain Lord. I hear about that. Everyone. I was talking about Brain Lord the other day. You know, I think you weren't here actually 2 days ago. I just streamed Assault Suit Falcom, or Cybernator as it's known outside of Japan, and I brought it up because it's the same composer that did Brain Lord. I've not played Brain Lord myself though. I fancy it. I have actually not played any of Brain Lord. I don't know it at all, other than briefly watching somebody else stream it on Twitch and hearing the music and thinking that sounds like Cybernator, and then I looked it up and it was. Mr. Stream doing it? It's alright. Not that exciting. I played, what did we play? Star Fox. I finished it. Star Fox and Assault Suit Falcom. I beat 2 games in one night. It's great. The VOD is still there. It was literally 2 days ago. Oh shit, I've realised I haven't saved in ages, have I? Let's just save right now. Just in case. I could have watched. It was fun. But, you know, I like Assault Suit Falcon. I'm sure I'll be playing it again one day. Is this the exit now? See, what else I would like to stream, and I think I very much do intend to stream it, Chrono Trigger, because I've actually never finished Chrono Trigger. I've got quite far, but I've never finished it, and I feel like it's quite shameful that I've never finished. I've finished Chrono Cross, but I've not finished Chrono Trigger. And I think I'd just play the at this point, I think I would just play the Super Nintendo version. Because last time I tried to play the DS version because it's got like bonus stuff, but I just I'm kind of less interested. Have I just been here? Where's the exit? Yeah, I did the bit like cover your ears, Chrono Trigger potential spoilers, but I did the bit where Chrono's gone and then comes back again, and I think that's where I sort of burnt out with it, because I just sort of, it's when it opened up and I wasn't really sure what to do, and I think it was around then or something. So I'd recommend avoid the PS1 version. See, obviously I can't stream the DS version, but I'm not sure if I'm that bothered anyway, because I've heard that the bonus dungeons are not very good anyway, just repetitive. I think I'd rather just play the original as it was to the side quest up before the end. Yeah. I don't remember it too, but I've only ever done that once on the DS, and I wasn't enjoying it as much. I'm not a portable gamer, to be honest. I prefer to play things on the TV. I've always been that way. Because I'm playing, even when I played Tales of Phantasia on the PSP, and I'm playing The Legend of Heroes 3 now on the PSP, I plugged my PSP into the TV. It's just too bad. I think there's a HDMI thing that you can get for the PSP though, so I could probably stream that way from the PSP, but the DS I can't. So you need to mod it or something, don't you? It's very annoying. What makes the maze even harder is having to do it slowly. So I don't know how far I can run away from him before he gets lost. At least we'll be leveled up. There's actually quite a few Super Nintendo embarrassments. I've never finished Final Fantasy V, I've never finished Final Fantasy VI. I've done 4 though. I think it's, whoops, up here. 4 is probably one of my favourite retro Final Fantasies, the 2D ones. Mods in Japan are coming on now. Yeah. I wouldn't want to mess around with my DS's anyway, I've already had one breakdown on me. I think it'll just have to be one experience I don't share. Right, if this is the door that takes me back to the floor, I think it's that middle path then, isn't it? Has he got lost? He has. Oof. Why is this one being a punk? Right. 300 modifications to the DS, Acceleration Stream still works on the 3DS like a ton. Well, I've just had one 3DS die on me. So I'm a bit grumpy about the 3DS at the moment. I had to buy a replacement. Because I bought some Japanese kanji study software title things, and I was dead excited to get back into using them as a tool. Okay, so that's the exit to the second floor, so it must be there. And then they arrived, and I was all ready to go, and then my 3DS wouldn't charge. I think it's got a dodgy connector or something. It's weird. Like, it'll charge the battery, but not when it's flat. I've discovered, because when I got a second, because it's a terrible design choice that they don't let you turn it on without a battery, because it was very hard for me to determine what the problem is. Is it the battery or is it the DS? I'd already bought a replacement battery last year and it did it once, and I remember putting the new battery in and it didn't work, but then after like a couple of days it mysteriously started working. And I can't remember which battery I had in it, whether it was the new one or the old one, but it wouldn't turn on with either battery, it wouldn't charge, and it's like, well, what's wrong? Is it the machine or are both batteries dead? Do I need to get another battery? But I don't want to waste money on another battery if it's the 3DS, but who knows, because it would just turn on for 5 seconds on the well, not turn on. You plug the charger in and the orange light would come on for 5 seconds and then just turn off. And it's like, well, what does that mean? And every time you Google about it, everybody's answering questions about a flat battery, but I'm like, I don't think it is a flat battery. Oh my god, this dungeon's pissing me off. How do I get out? I haven't played my 3DS in years. I think that's some of the problem too, though, when you leave them on the shelf too long. So, but then mine was like a new 3DS XL. My original 3DS, my UK one, that's not a new one and not an XL, is still okay. My new 3DS XL, which I bought new, all the paint's starting to come off. Nasty thing. I bought the metallic blue one, But now it's like all chipping away. Very cheap. Do I need to find a map? Because I thought this was the bottom floor. Isn't this the ground floor? Coming on and going off usually means the charge circuit's gone bad. As soon as you get its pins lifted from frequent use. See, the thing is though, I could put the battery in my newer 3DS, and then it would charge that, and then I put that battery back in the old 3DS, and then it would charge that. Fine. But it was like, if it was, I think it was not charging if it was flat. But that doesn't help me because I can't charge a battery without a working 3DS, you know? So either way, it's still not helpful. So now I've got two 3DS, new 3DSs, one that doesn't work properly and one that does, and 3 batteries. But to be honest, I don't want the stress, so I'm happy to have a new 3DS, because even if I could manage to get it to work, it's probably going to break down eventually, so I'd rather have a new one. And perhaps I could get it repaired, but the cost of the repairs is probably going to be halfway towards a new 3DS anyway, so whatever. It was just the timing of it. I didn't want to have to buy one right now, but I wanted to do my studying, and I have been doing. I've been making that's why I've been streaming last week too. I've been trying to get into a routine of just studying after work. Have an X as well, but it's just black. A new one or an old one? As in the new one. Because I feel like the older models are probably okay. But that's what I thought anyway. That was the only reasoning I could have. It must be something to do with the internal charging circuit thing. That's the old model. Maybe the older models are more sturdy then. By new, I don't mean brand new from the shop. I just mean that stupid naming system that Nintendo went with for the new 3DS. The one that has the extra horsepower and the little mini analog stick and lets you play Xenoblade Chronicles and Snes games. And it has better 3D as well, doesn't it? This has got to be the way out, surely. Wait, is this is not the same dead end that I just did, is it? Oh my god. You must be watching this at home, like screaming, because you can see quite clearly where I need to go, but I can't. My brain cannot. I'm not good at multitasking. Maybe I should just focus for a minute. If anybody knows, do say. I'm not like, oh fuck. I don't know where I am. I don't even know where, like, to get a map. I don't even know where I would be on it. Have exclusive titles for it. I also heard that Hyrule Warriors was borderline unplayable unless you had a new 3DS. I heard it was just like horrific slowdown and stuff. Do you know what dungeon is called? It's the first one. It's the gold mine, the gold cave. I don't know where I am. Shall I find a map? I'll spare us all. I've got to go to bed, haven't I? So I'll search it in Japanese. These kind of games usually have good maps in Japan. But although I'll probably get the sharp one, but it's probably the same, right? How do you spell Lagoon in Japanese? Lagoon. Oh, we found it. Let me open that on my mobile phone. So I'm just going. It's a tiny map. How can I get this lost? Oh god. Show image in a new window. Yes, please. Where am I then? Wait, there's a boss? I didn't find a boss. I've missed a boss. It says we come back. Oh my god, I've really made this dungeon seem way more complicated than it needed to be, haven't I? 1, 2... Section 2... Section 3... I haven't missed any items anyway. You take the back first. So we're up to here, 3DS's both felt like that though. Oh no, only one of them. I bought a replacement. To have a new invincible bar on the screens. See, I'm very sad about mine because it's not like I even bought it second hand when I originally bought it. I bought it brand new. I bought a replacement for it, but it wasn't very cheap, and obviously, you know, I'm trying to save money at the moment, but shit just keeps breaking down. Where could we be? But, you know, whatever. I mean, I technically didn't need to replace it. I wouldn't have died. But I had my plans. My plans was to start my study and stuff, and I just paid for the software stuff, so it was really annoying not to be able to use it. Okay, well, I'm not there then. Is this the boss? This is... no. I don't know what floor I'm on. I think I might be on the second one. Is this the exit? Because this could be... could this be the exit that goes to floor 3? I don't think I'm on... no, I'm on the first floor. I swear I'm on the first floor. Okay, I've got a feeling I actually need to go this way. But yeah, and I also wanted it for my flight. I think the boss room I think is up here. If I'm where I think I am on the map, I think the boss room is up here, and it should be a dead end. Yeah, I don't think I ever went up here, did I? Okay, I know where I am now. Yeah, I'm near the boss room on the map. Thank you for the map. It's a tiny map as well. I can't believe how lost I've managed to get myself. Yeah, there we go. And we can't go in there. So now it's just straight down and out. But yeah, I wanted to take my 3DS on the plane as well, because I think I might play Majora's Mask. Zelda's great on a plane. I've never finished Majora's Mask either, so I might do that. But mostly I just want to take my 3DS with me because I want to do studying while I'm back home. And when I say studying, it's not serious studying, but it's like you know, just 20 minutes drilling something quickly on a DS. It's not like getting out textbooks and stuff. I'm gonna have a nice vacation, but it's something I can do like before bed or over the coffee in the morning. It's this way. Let's go. Something's off on the DS, yeah. They're games, basically. You buy them. They're like games, but I'm hesitant to call them games because they're not games, but... it's just, like I said about the kanji, being able to read them and stuff, you can just... it's like got practiced exams and tests for what they call the kanji proficiency test that they have in Japan for native speakers. But there's lots of study software for that where you can just drill through reading sentences and you have to write what you think it is or draw it, and it says whether you're right or wrong and stuff, and you can do some practice bits too. It's just a sort of way, because I find I'm a huge procrastinator, so when I've got a textbook, I'll spend like 2 hours making flashcards and never use them, that kind of thing. So I thought if I get the software thing, it'll cut out that excuse for procrastination. I can just get straight on with it. And I did use them back in the day when I was a student. When I first came to Japan, I got one of them, very old one, and I just didn't get on with it. My language ability was far too low to make any use for it. I couldn't understand the sentences I was reading very well, let alone trying to know what the correct kanji symbol is that it requires of me, because I can't even understand the context, because my Japanese was like, I'd only been studying for 2 years at that point. But now I've had I saw some YouTuber talking about it, and it got me thinking like, oh, I've never thought to give those another go, and I bet they've got better ones now too, and they've got ones on the 3DS. So I thought, because they make great use of the stylus, that's why they're useful. There's one on the Switch as well. But they're no good for like, if you want to learn yourself, like they won't teach Japanese. They're for when you're already at a certain level, when you're capable of just doing self-study kind of stuff. They won't teach you anything. There's no English, because they're for Japanese people to use. Anyway, he says, phew, I'm so glad. Me too. Oh, Keith, you made... I think you wanted to call him Keith. It's because I was watching Tofu playing Ease, and there's a character in there called Keith. No, he's not Keith, he's Gills. You made it back safely. I did. I want to hurry back to the village. Sorry, it took ages. Well, I think I should leave it here because it is 1 in the morning and it took me forever to get out of that cave, but we'll continue the adventures of Gills and whoever back in the town. Perhaps the next time. Whether that will be tomorrow, I don't know. I'll see what kind of a mood I'm in. But I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, the study stuff is really useful. I've been enjoying using it. And it does sort of make me focus a bit more and just get on with it. Let's see who to raid. Oh, there's quite a few choices. Let's raid. Let me see how long. We'll raid Tin Sarah. Playing Wild Arms, which I also need to do on my to-do list. I'm going to raid and run, but we're going to pop on over and see Tin Sarah. But thanks for hanging out. I should probably change my scene. Right. Let's do that.